All right. Breathe in. Comments. Hey, Daniel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Was this light going to cooperate? I don't know. That's better. All right. I know I look crazy, but hey, water lilies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know it's been a minute and I felt like going live tonight. No, it was short notice and whatever. You can catch the replay. And I'm sure this will probably, until I go out on the next great adventure, different type of adventure, then I'll make some videos. But in the meantime, I had a lot going on. Life was coming at me super fast. And so I'm just now trying to get some sense of normalcy and let y'all know what's going on, the update with me, and where I will be and what I will be doing. So, once again, welcome, welcome. I know I look crazy, but this is kind of a hint as to the adventure that is about to take place. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know why the lighting is not that great. Let's see if I push it back some more and get directly under. Anyway, alrighty. So first, for starters, just want to thank everybody that has been supporting the channel and following on my journeys throughout Africa and Nicaragua and now back to the United States and all that's been going on. So some things that have been going on. Hey, Francis, I'm going to try to make this quick because for me it is 9:30 at night, my bedtime. I can't stay up late. Yeah, so some of the things that have been going on. So first, let me start with my brother. Still need continued prayers for my second oldest brother in Italy. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything in a few weeks because the American person that was working the embassy, when he last called, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, um, he called like maybe 4 weeks ago. Wow, haven't been online in that long. He called on a Monday and said they had moved my brother back to the public hospital and did another surgery and wanted to see how he was going to react to that particular surgery. We didn't know that they were moving him. Well, we knew that the private hospital said that they couldn't really do treat him or whatever. It was too much for them. So they sent him back to the public hospital. They said the abscess had got bigger. They did a surgery and they wanted to see how he was doing. And so he made that phone call and then he called back a week later to give us an update. He was still hanging in there, blah, blah, blah. They're still monitoring to see if the surgery helped. And at the end of his conversation, he said, "Oh, yeah, by the way, this is my last day working in Italy. So you'll have to speak with the other people that work at the embassy." You knew you wasn't going to be working there a while back, Unfortunately, knowing people that work for the US government, that's what they like to do. I had a good chuckle with my favoriteest person in the world. She works for the government, and I said, all y'all do is sit up and apply for jobs. Y'all don't do no dang on work. And if anyone has ever applied for a government job, you know that these applications may take you 3 hours to fill them out. But we chuckled about it. She said, "Yep, go on to the next spot." So um, they know when they're going to be going somewhere. They know the dates in advance time. So I thought that was kind of crappy that you waited till your last day to tell us that, oh, that by the way, this is my last day. This is my only American source in Italy. All the rest of them are like Italian nationals that work for the U.S. Embassy. They don't speak great English, and I don't really trust them, and yada, 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 all that stuff. So I did look to see what the pricing was looking like in October, um, in to go check on them, because literally since then we've had no word um, on my brother's progress. And I don't know if I think I had mentioned it before when they moved him to the private hospital that his credentials were stolen. So he has no credentials there. So we just, we're in the dark basically with that. So just continue to pray that we get a good outcome from that we hear some good news, so he can come home alive and in good health or better health, so that we can take care of him on this end. Let me speak to some people. Francis, Deshaun, Daniel, everybody, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. I know it was a short notice, but I just wanted to give y'all an update. And if you see up at the top of the chat, there is a link to my actual page. I'll get to that. It's another page, and it will be following my new adventure. My mother is doing well. She's home. She went to the hospital twice, but she celebrated her 92nd birthday Sunday, and we're grateful for that. So that's always good news. My sister is doing better. So all of that was hitting me all at the same time. Yeah, we're hanging in there, and we're doing pretty good. So with that, I am still here. And as of right now, there's a delay of what I was planning to do for December 1st, but I'm here as long as I need to be here. I'm taking care of a 92-year-old that has dementia. Is hard work, but it's okay. She's my mother, and I love her dearly. You look at me, you looking at her. So I look just like my mother, and we are taking very good care of her. And that's just a given. So, you know, abroad travel is a little on the delayed side. So, things that I have been doing in the meantime, as you can see, I want to call it my little Trader Jack hat, my Columbia hat. I am preparing for um, backpacking in the United States. So for me, it's like two different. I have a backpack for travel abroad, and I have a backpack for traveling out in nature, in the wilderness, in the wild. Um, that's something that I like. I like nature. I like mountains. I like beaches. So, as they call it, Sea to Summit is a brand, a popular brand. Anything outdoors, and so with that, my sister's phone is ringing. Sorry. All right. Yeah. So sorry about that. And so what I want to do is, yes, absolutely, Deshaun, absolutely. I was here, and everything just fell into place. I was able to go to Italy to see about my brother. I was able to be here. Both my mom and my sister is in the hospital at the same time. And so at that point I had three people in the hospital at the same time. But, you know, like I said, I got strong shoulders. I guess I'm built for it, and he knew how much I can handle. So I had to make sure that I didn't let myself get stressed out. So one of the things that makes me happy is buying gear. So on the new channel, I will be going over, things if someone is interested. And I'm saying this to say I'm here and I'm looking at things that are going on all over the world, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Y'all better learn how to survive without the luxuries that you have at this very moment. Electricity, running water, clean water. You're going to need to be able to survive because it's like really, really weird. Like stuff is just happening. If you all followed me throughout Africa, you see that there's all sorts of coups and different things. They're trying to kick out the French out of Africa and trying to pit one African country against the other. And so before it gets better, it will probably get much worse. So all of you all that were in the military, you have some sense of survival skills. But those of you that were not, don't just sit up here and bank on, oh, I'm going to always have electricity and I'm going to always have running clean water, because you very well may not. I'm doing it because I just absolutely enjoy it, but it is a skill that you need to perfect, even if it's in your backyard. You need to learn how to go without certain luxuries for a few days. It was funny because coming from Africa, and y'all know we had rolling power outages all the time. Um, and they used to, when I was in East Africa, they used to say, "Oh, you'd be glad you're not in West Africa because the power goes out for days and days." And I ended up in West Africa, and we did have some moments where the power was out for like almost 4 days or whatever. And you're like, "Oh, well, did they pay the bill? Is the bill paid? The bill is paid. The power is just out." And I come here, and when I got back from Italy, we had a storm and the power went out for a little over 24 hours or whatever. And I walk outside and all I can hear is generators, generators, generators. So usually if something traumatic happens, what's the first thing they tell you? Oh, we got a shortage of fuel. So that's fine and dandy for a storm. But if you go on days and days, you need to know how to at least make a fire. At the very least, I told y'all before, learn how to swim, learn how to start a fire, learn how to survive. So on my other channel, it's called The Bushcraft Wannabe, because I'm truly fascinated with people that can go outside with a knife and survive and build fires and build shelters and things like that. But I've got most of my gear already. Now, one of the other things that I'm a little disappointed in, for those of you that don't know, I am in Michigan. I'm in Southeast Michigan, and it's flat as a pancake. So there's no good like mountain trails. I got to go way up north to the Upper Peninsula or whatever to get some little hills that are less than 2,000 feet elevation. But it's a start and it's far. But I feel like if I got to go way up there, then I might as well go to another state and do whatever. But I will get to it. So some of my goals for that is the Appalachian Trail, which goes from Georgia to Maine, the Pacific Crest Trail that goes from Mexico to Canada, and of course my big thing that I was so bent on doing while I was there in Africa was hiking up Kilimanjaro. So, those are things that I plan to do, and that will be featured on the other channel, which is like I said, is at the top of the chat. The first entry at the top of the chat. So things, stuff like that. We have to be very mindful and stay, alert and aware of things that are going on. Let me get over here. I'm sure he's having fun somewhere. I don't even know what he's on. No, Francis, my brother is not having fun. My brother is in the hospital. He has sepsis. He's very sick, and he's been in the hospital since May. And I had to go to Italy to see about him. So it was no fun whatsoever. He's very sick. And that's what people were like, "Oh, you're in Italy." I'm not here on joy, or it was definitely a family emergency. So I thank Allah that I was able to get there, to have the wherewithal to get there and see what was actually going on, because you get these weird calls. And like the first thing my sister's like, "Oh, how much is it gonna cost?" Shut up. We're not giving up no money. You don't even know who you're talking to for sure. And so one of the things I did was to go to make sure it was my brother, like, don't play with me. and it's just a big mess. And these are things that happen, you know, that can happen to you when you're in foreign countries. And he's not able to get on a commercial flight because they tried to pressure me. And so I guess they thought that, we weren't going to do anything. So we tried to get a flight for him to get out of there. And so when we showed him that, yeah, we're going to take him home, then they said, oh no, he can't. He's not well enough to get on a commercial flight. So, everything we attempted to do was blocked, but it's all good. It's in God's hand. I'm not going to stress out about it, you know, not at all. So let's see. Yes, I know, Deshaun, and I'm so sorry that I was not able to get over up to Pontiac to support you guys, but I'm check on Devonna all the time, well, not all the time, but as much as I can, because like, yeah, I wake up early in the morning. I got a couple of online things that I do. So I wake up early, I log in, I get my day started, and the next thing I know, it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night most of the time. And I have been so exhausted because I'm making sure stuff is okay, trying to do X, Y, and Z. And once I wake up, I drink my coffee and I'm up. Everybody's taking naps. So it has gotten to the point, especially when it got cloudy up here. I just like today, I got so sleepy. I was like, I gotta lay down. Normally, I'll just keep moving, moving, moving. But I took a nap. I'm like, I need some sleep. I need some rest. And I don't sleep too good. That's a whole nother story. I don't sleep too good in the evening. People running in and out, doing, just doing whatever. And it's more than a notion, but just you have to keep pressing forward and stay positive, if that's a positive thing, and think of the good. And, you know, any memories, if you've suffered a loss, my understanding is uptown, somebody was drag racing and they just hit the county building and the car blew up and it didn't get a body out of it. So that person is probably deceased. So prayers to that family. It's just like stupid stuff. And then there's stuff people are trying to live and trying to survive. And then there's people that just do stupid stuff. And, so, but either way, it's a family suffering a loss. So you have to pray, strength and understanding when these things happen. So I'm trying to keep it upbeat and positive, but definitely still, Deshaun, you and Devon is still in my prayers, because I can't even imagine. Because, like I said, my mother just turned 92 on Sunday. And even at that age and at my age, they don't live forever. But I can't imagine how I'm going to react, when that time comes, and we don't know. She said she's gonna live to be 100, so I hope so. Then I just have to sneak and take my adventures, sneak out and take a break or whatever. So yeah. Hey GP. Yes, yes. So yeah, so what's going to be, this is, it may sound uncaring and callous, but for those that are religious, for those that are spiritual, for anybody that believes in anything, and you say, now I just want to say this point, and then I'm gonna move on to something else. If you talk the talk, walk the walk. So when you say God's got it, or you turning it over to Allah or God, the Most High, whatever you call who you serve, as my daddy said, call who you serve, believe those words. You can't say you praying and then you turn around and you worrying, and and it's just a natural emotion. But I actually believe the words that come out of my mouth, that, okay, God is in control and what's going to be is going to be. All I ask is that you give me strength to be able to handle it. Because in my lifetime, 55 this summer, I turned 55. I lost my dad, lost one brother, and, you know, I didn't handle my brother's loss too well. And then my dad, yeah, because I was a daddy's girl. It was rough, but you keep moving, you keep pressing forward because you still have a life to live. Yes, we miss them, but I got plenty of pictures. I got plenty of memories. Some good, some bad. And it's just life. it is what it is. And so, um, okay, at your grandparents' house. Like, yeah, I'm from a little town, and so when people say stuff, it's just amazing. And I've seen a few people. I try to keep a low key, but yeah, it's I can't say my neighborhood is the same because my mother is one of the oldest living original people in the neighborhood. Um, so that's just a blessing in itself. And our home house we no longer have is around the corner, and it makes you feel some kind of way to walk by and you say, wow, that's where I was raised up. That's our house, and somebody else is living in it. But everything happens for a reason, and you just keep on keeping on. So, we still have our lives to live. And for those of you that have reached a certain age, you've reached 30, 40, 50, it's a blessing because I don't know where you live, but here in our area, the people are getting younger and younger and are leaving this earth. So live with no regrets. That's how I do. I live if I think, okay, that will be, like really great and exciting, to hear someone say, well, I'm going to do like you're doing, and I'm going to, enjoy my life, and I'm going to go check this out. Whether you're in an RV or if you van life or you hiking, I'm going hiking. I'm going hiking. I can tell you about my little hike that I went on um, the other day, and I didn't make a right. I didn't pick the proper turn, and I kept going straight. I'm like, this trail. So I had to call my sister and say, the trail ended. I thought this trail goes all the way to the beach, which is like almost 6 miles. And she was like, where are you? She started yelling. She's like, you keep getting lost. What she doesn't realize is that, yeah, I get lost every time I leave the house. I get lost. I'm a retired truck driver, and I get lost in my own hometown. Why? Because literally, I haven't lived here. Before I went to Africa, I was living in Texas for 8 years. Before Texas, I was in New Orleans for a year. And before New Orleans, I was in Florida for several years. So I haven't lived here for a long time. So yeah, I get lost in my own hometown. But let me tell y'all, I didn't feel lost. I lost no, as the trail said, end of trail. And I was like, what? I was at Lake St. Clair. When I tell you it was beautiful, I didn't even know this existed in my own backyard. So I wasn't mad at it. Oh, excuse me, got the hiccups. I wasn't mad at it. And I enjoyed the moment. And I had my backpack on. So I had to come back and just because I stopped and I didn't do what I was supposed to do when I started heading back, my foot started hurting. So I was struggling, but I was determined to make it back. That was, a little over 4 miles. You might say that ain't nothing. But for me, I'm fat, I'm overweight, and I'm out of shape. It was a big deal. It was good. My goal was to get out there to that beach and somebody come and get me, but I did it. I just did it. And this was like my sister. She's like, oh, I'm so stiff. I'm this. You have to keep moving. And so, this is where I am. If I'm up in the woods, I'll get a tracker. SOS, somebody come and get me, somebody find me, send the people, whatever. But this is what I want to do. And so I'm going to cut it in half. So there will be some backpacking abroad and there will be some backpacking locally because right now I need to stay, close to home or whatever. Put some of my stuff on the back burner, but still go and enjoy my life. Just because you have to take care of somebody or do something, you don't stop living your life. And so I guess that is what there's somebody that's struggling and you know keep going. Just keep going. Don't stop. Do what you have to do. There's enough. Like I feel like sometimes there's not enough hours in a day. It is. It's enough. It's enough. And my sister is in there on the phone with her friend over talking me. I don't know if y'all can hear her or not, but she's over talking me. And I told her I was on doing my live video. So she's getting louder and louder and louder. She does it too when I'm teaching my students, but it's okay. It's my sister. So I'm in her house. So when you invade somebody else's stuff, you go accordingly. That was that. The next thing is something I wanted to touch on. Okay, so like I don't really know how to do it. If you all, like I said, if you can see the, I don't know how I can push it down. Let's see. Here it says show. I don't know what I'm showing. Oh, right there. Okay. That is the first post in the chat. That is the link, hopefully, to my other page that will be following along. Hopefully, by the end of next week, I will have all of my gear and I will start posting videos. Okay, thank you. So that jarred my memory. My apologies. Y'all know I learned something. So following these people and doing whatever. I know I don't see Chumps in here. Chumps used to always get on me and say, "You need a nimble. You need to get a nimble," because my videos be all over the place. They'd be shaky or whatever. So that gear is coming, but and that is, it may sound stupid or a little naive, but what I learned was most of these people that are saying, "Oh, I'm on a solo trip," or "I'm on a solo hike," or "I'm by myself," trust the process. They are not by themselves. They have people that are recording for them. So yes, y'all got the raw deal from me. I was holding my, my little phone and camera, my GoPro or whatever. So yeah, when I'm looking at something, you might see me drifting all over different places. So I've got some tips to kind of make those recordings a little better. I got a brand new tripod. Hold on one second, because she is getting really, really loud. She don't care. She probably don't even hear me. But anyway, so yeah. So that's something that I'm really excited about to be doing. Like the last time someone said, "Oh, I got my backpack." Good. Get your gear, because I'm still going to be doing my hostels and my traveling abroad stuff. Like I said, I've got a backpack just for traveling abroad, and I've got a backpack for hiking in nature in the wilderness. There's a difference. There's a huge difference between the two, and maybe I will show, some of that stuff as well, but it's definitely still going to be on the go. That is my goal, is to just still be moving around. Fortunately for me, as a truck driver, I have been to 49 of the 50 states. I've never been to Alaska. I really want to go to Alaska, but I may have to say, "Oh, let me go to Alaska and hike down a trail or whatever." But I've been to all 48 states, and, you know, I've looked at some stuff, even in my big truck. I'll park my big truck and I'll go walk up through something. Like I almost slid down the mountain in North Dakota. There's something called the Painted Canyon. If y'all never, like, if you want some pointers and some tips to great places to just start and go see in the United States, I always say start in your own backyard. So the reason why I was able to go to Africa or do whatever is because I've been to every state in the United States except for Alaska. But this one particular day, I was in North Dakota at a rest area in the Painted Canyon. It's called the Painted Canyon, and this little rest area is named after some president or whatever. You can see on any given day bison. I think they're bison or buffalo or whatever. Um, yes, there will be weekend travel. I'm getting to that too. And so there was a trail that was going down the mountainside, but I had on cowboy boots. I had on cowboy boots, and it was like kind of misting, raining, and I was taking a selfie. I wasn't thinking. I did not think at all. I just went down the trail. I saw this boulder protruding out, and I said, "Oh, that's a good place to take a selfie." Well, when I took the selfie, and you can see what's behind you, which was nothing. It was a canyon. I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And I went to get up to go back up, and I slipped. And y'all, I did the Spider-Man, because in a single bound, I got myself back up to the top. And my boots was sliding because I had on the wrong boots. And my sister was like, "You're so stupid. What were you thinking? Nobody would have known." I said, "Well, nobody have known that I just went down in the canyon." But I thought it was funny, at the moment. I was just like, "How dumb am I?" But that's me and my adventure. I've got proper footwear. I've got proper, everything that I need to survive out in the wilderness or go on a camping trip or whatever it is, you know, I will be telling you. And so, a couple of things for that. Just do a list. Sometimes, I can't afford this, or do a little bit at a time. I don't make a lot of money. Yes, I am, doing something. I am getting paid. I got two part-time jobs, and one of them part-time jobs is actually a 24/7, but I get paid to do it. So I've been buying a little bit at a little bit. So by the end of next week, like I said, I will have most of the gear that I need. And you definitely need proper footwear. And it's cool. You don't always have to go up a mountain. You can just walk through, some different things, but make sure your feet are important. Your feet are the most important thing out here. And um, thank you, Francis. Thank you for coming. So, this information will be forthcoming on that channel, and we will have some get-togethers because, like I said, unfortunately, down here in Southeast Michigan, there's not really a lot to see, and the stuff that is here, it's not as vibrant and as beautiful if you were in Utah, if you're in Colorado or the Carolinas or whatever. There's so many places and choices and things to see. Oh, mosquito. Make sure you get your mosquito spray. So, yeah. So these are, this is where I'm headed. So I said all that to say that there won't be a lot of attention on this channel unless I'm leaving the country. And then the other channel will be for the local U.S. adventure or whatever, and how to do things with anything. Do what makes you comfortable, and you know, have no regrets. If you something you want to do in life, do that. Do it. Just do it. So with that, please click on that link and just hit the subscribe button for that channel. It's called the Bushcraft Wannabe. Um, there will be information, um, you know, stuff that you can actually use in real life. And that's really how this channel started off, trying to get us to swim. We suffer too much because we don't have certain skills. We went from being hikers, I always have to throw in that history lesson in there. When we was running from these plantations, we can look at the stars and follow that star and make our way to the north on foot. And I always hear people say, "I wouldn't have made it." Oh, you would have made it, because that was something that, was dire. I think more people should have escaped. Harriet Tubman said she could have helped more people escape if they would have realized that they were actually slaves. So this is something that's just in us. Don't say, "Oh, that's for them." No, this is us. But this is what we did. We went from being enslaved in the South. We migrated out west. We migrated up north on foot with no cars. And damn sure most of us did not have horses, mules, or cows or whatever. We did it on foot. So, okay, you're going to Utah. Very good. I do miss it. It's beautiful out there. If you get a chance to see some things, it is absolutely beautiful in Colorado and Utah. Yeah, Deshaun, for sure. For sure. Like, you don't really have to go, you know, it's called state parks, national parks. Run up in there. And one of the things, I have one homegirl that I went to school with, and my cousin, they live in Georgia. Um, I didn't even know Georgia had a waterfall, but both of them have made it to this waterfall. And I was like, okay, I want to see that. We actually have a waterfall in Michigan, but gosh darn, it's way up in the Upper Peninsula. And for those of you that don't know your geography, Michigan is the state that's shaped like a map, and we've got this little ribbon up at the top that sits right next to Canada. So it's about 400 or 500 miles from me in my own state. So that's where I have to go to get some good scenery or whatever. And I feel like, well, I can go south and get to someplace just as same distance and be out of my state. Plus, it's getting cold. Um, things just enjoy your life. And yeah, you can learn how to start a fire and barbecue out in the wilderness. Some places got burn bans, but yeah, just stuff that you can do. Make it exciting. I do see there are some groups of people, but they have like an annual camping trip. I'm just trying to get it as much as I can. But that's why I didn't want y'all to think that I just like left y'all hanging high and dry and never came back. Yes, I am back in the United States for those that were exclusively following because I was in Africa. Um, it's not permanent. I mean, I'm going to go wherever I go. I went to Italy and decided that maybe I might not like Europe as much as someone remind you, this is, yeah, Italy was an emergency, but I was not impressed at all. So there's still South America, there's still the Caribbean, and there's still Asia and lots of Africa because I only managed to see 8 countries out of 54 countries in Africa. So all of that. And like I said, determined to climb Kilimanjaro. That is a must. So that's where I am. Um, Video should get better after I receive my shipment with nimbles and tripods and things to not have to be on shaky ground. Hopefully the quality will be better. So that's all I got to say about that. It's been real. It's after 10 o'clock for those of you that have to go to work. Yeah, it's time for me to go to bed because I'm old. And I'm glad you all came in. Like I said, don't forget to find that page and subscribe to it. It's going to be fun. I'm here to have fun. That's just me. I forgot to be 55. I want to have fun, but a different kind of fun. I used to be a drinker and a partier. And now my idea of fun no longer consists of being confined in a club and getting drunk and having a headache the next day. It consists of being outside and getting mosquito bites and stuff like that. Yeah. When I was in Texas, I was trying to be on the trail ride scene. So outside is where I belong. Yes. So if that's something that you find interesting, then definitely subscribe to that other channel. Don't forget to hit the like button on this one. And I will come in occasionally to keep y'all notified because I still want to do my hostel takeover. I want to find a place abroad to meet up and take over the hostel and enjoy company, fellowship. All right, y'all. So thanks for coming in and checking it out. I hope you all subscribe. I'll put it on the community tab as well for that other channel. And come and check it out. You might get motivated. Okay. And then you get to buy really cute gear. And especially if you plus size. I found some people that cater to plus size, but I just like really love this hat. It was like I put it on my mom. So yeah, might be the military in me, but I like it outside. Okay, y'all. Until the next time, see you then.